Of course, I had to let that ride for a little bit. Huge appreciative shout out to Brown Tiger, the executive music producer of Verbal Vibe Mode, for providing a track that was just perfect and very relevant to episode 3. Mind you, this was created before the season even started, so I don't know what type of wizardry he used to conjure up this beat, but thank you, good sir. Now let's get into episode 3, Born to Die. AKA, with every beginning, there is an end. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You know, I always have to do my alternative reference titles, but you know. Don't worry, we're still in Atlanta, and we're focused on the crew, specifically Alan Earn this episode. And this episode deals with the state of hip hop, dare I say, pop music in general within society today. Specifically, young white avatars, YWA. Some examples of YWA. The period girl that y'all keep duetting for whatever reason. Macklemore, Post Malone, Mason Ramsey, Jack Harlow, Iggy Azalea, and probably the biggest of our era, Justin Timberlake. Catch 'em all like Pokemon. We start off with Al fresh off a bar mitzvah performance, and he's propositioned to manage an artist, Benny, by his father, for $1 million. Take him under his wing, if you will. He wants Al to show him his ways. I don't know about y'all, but I was waiting for him to say swag at any moment, especially with the descriptors he was throwing out. The placement of Money Good by Meg was perfect, but then again, the music is typically on point and very situational. Al is still battling with his identity and place within his stardom. Now he needs to build and diversify his skill set. Of course, rap isn't forever unless you're certain artists, but even thinking of those who are most successful, they have their hands in many different ventures. We see Earn doing his thing at a management firm. Lauren Lottie, an author whose book sales are dipping due to a What Now, which was funny, a parody of Now This video that had dropped of her pulling out a gun on a black kid that was fundraising door to door, who is now suing her, as he should. This is another true story that makes a connection within the show. However, Earn was not interested in this image recovery, and he wanted to focus his efforts on a mission to secure D'Angelo as a client. Earn ends up at Rallies of all places. Shouts out to Seasoned Fries. The biggest lesson we learn in this episode, nobody is drinking Dasani, even after 4 days without a shower. This is what wakes Earn up from his usually patient zone as he begins to wonder the concept of D'Angelo while trapped in this Saw-esque room in the back of Rallies, reading old Jet magazines and basically waiting and contemplating. Here we experience Earn go to another portal to discuss D'Angeloism. This portal was kind of shaped like a mortuary cabinet, you know, where they keep the bodies for storage until they do the bodies for funeral ceremonies. Great Value D'Angelo references Earn's vivid dreams. One of these days we have to get into that too. What I do know is that this better not be a dream to end the season. I would not be mad though, because the journey's been great so far, but don't do us like that, please. Please. This scene also confirms that Donald Glover is indeed Simba because he gets anointed with peanut butter. Side note, would y'all eat a peanut butter fried chicken skin and Lori sandwich? If that's not a high meal, like what? He was preparing it like he's done this like a million times. It's so wild. I'm thinking he's about to break down the chicken and like take the chicken meat. No, we're gonna take the chicken skin. Yeah. After the discussion, he doesn't sign D'Angelo, but seems to accept the lesson he learns. Back to Al with Honey, I Shrunk the Culture. We head to the studio where Yodel Kid, Benny, and Lil Rick Moranis are introduced and are doing what they consider rapping, I guess. This definitely gave vibes of season 2, episode 3, Moneybag Shawty, when Al and Darius first meet Clark County, but more mediocre and white. R.I.P. Clark County. Benny, although he referred to his dad purchasing Al, peeps the money play and reassures Al that he's got this so he can chill. Bunk is Little Rick's manager, who shares some game with Al that he needs to be more thoughtful when it comes to money moves and longevity with his career. Al attends a meeting with other like minded artists where we get a thorough breakdown of young white avatars and how they can use them to not only gain money but remain relevant. We get a reference of Blue Blood, remember episode 2, and how he faded into obscurity, at least for them. But remember, even Al was late to hear about the news of his passing prior to him doing the scavenger hunt. After that point is made, he's more receptive to their advice. Al pulls up to a high school where Benny and Yodel Kid are making some very grassroots social media connections to their core audience in real time. Unfortunately, Bunk snags Benny before Al can recruit him. So Al decides to focus his efforts on Yodel Kid, who is high off of perks in that moment, so he just takes what he can get. Some time passes, and we're at the Grammys now. Yodel Kid's album goes platinum in 3 days. Unfortunately, Yodel Kid dies from an overdose, like the album title says, Born to Die. Yet again, Al is delayed in learning about Yodel Kid's passing. Benny breaks the news to him and says it's all over social media, but of course, because, we're all old fuddy duddies and rather call somebody than look on their timeline for their current status. He had no idea. The Best Rap Album Award is presented by none other than Lauren Lottie and the black boy that was going to sue her. Peep the publicity stunt in real time. Remember season 3, episode 6, White Fashion? When Al joined the diversity board in order to apologize on behalf of a designer that messed up? Yodel Kid is awarded the Grammy for Best Rap Album. This speaks to society's likeliness to value artists born when they die than when they're alive. Cue Kodak Black, let me know to close the show. Another perfectly placed song for all of this. And can we just take a moment, just a simple moment, to appreciate Al's fashions this episode? Ridiculously clean. One of the quotes that rang true to the state of everything that Earn provided us with, it's not about what feels good, it's about what survives. And for me, what is money if you don't survive? Season 1 Earn could never. You see the growth. I like this episode. You say that about every episode. So, it was a great depiction of the current state of music, and that could even be expanded to other industries where we are seeing the collision, how each generation perceives their artists and what they consider to be legendary or OG, if you will. It also addresses how quickly the concept of fame fades. Overall, the gift of time is also lingering and can be a curse, but does it really have to be? Really makes you think, but I want to hear from you, of course. Engage. Go ahead and tap into the Spotify app and check out the poll and Q&A section to provide your input on episode 3. You can also leave your thoughts on IG, Twitter, YouTube, or verbaldevibemode.com. Feel free to leave a voicemail using the Anchor app. All important links are in the description box. See you next week.